Hey guys, actually got a boss fight and a regular level today for this video, and I don't even know what the hell to make of this anymore. I know I've said that before, but there are multicolored stars falling from the sky and what appear to be ambulatory, I'm not sure if they're supposed to be sausages or bladders or something flying around, but you have to poke out of the sky by hitting a target that will cause, fucked if I know what that is. There's something in the pillars to throw out spikes and bring them, puncture them, temporarily bringing them down to earth. Which, I mean, I got no bloody idea. It is like watching the fevered cocaine dream of some sort of 30s, vaudeville stage act gone horribly, horribly wrong. Or horribly, horribly right, depending on how you feel about this sort of thing. And I'm going to go with wrong for many, many reasons, but I give up. I'm not even going to try and make sense of this anymore. I should have realised that long, long ago, but I mean, look at this shit. Seriously, people. Do you even think the creators knew what the fuck they were on about with this? Because if they did, they are far, far greater men than I am. Not that that's particularly hard, but I'm just going to let this speak for itself for a little while. I'm not even just whatever. I can't possibly make heads or tails of this shit. And that's pretty much the boss fight done. You may have noticed the boss fights in this game, while completely lacking in any sort of sense as to their setup, are actually, for the most part, pretty easy and pretty short. And you're considering the labyrinthine nature of some of these levels, that's hardly surprising. Plok, I'm not sure why Plok seems to be obsessed with remaining king of his island, but maybe I was wrong, maybe this is just some sort of really fucked up King Arthur parallel. Nothing to do with the Nazis at all. Just good old-fashioned British nationalism. Or maybe I'm wrong about everything. That wouldn't be the first time. And yeah, this is one of the long pain in the arse levels. What am I saying? Most of the levels are long pain in the arse levels. I should be pointing out the ones that aren't. And yeah, this level's actually... You could have done this a hell of a lot quicker than I did because I screwed up some stuff early on. Which you've already seen what would come back to bite me in the arse later. The not getting the arm back. The good thing combat in this game is so goddamn simple. Yeah. There's a lot of these puzzles in this level. Giant columns of what appears to be... I'm not sure if that's meant to be carved rock or mud or what. But, being brought out of the ground simply by hitting a target with your fist, which somehow miraculously appears on a coat hanger next to it. And I know I like to go on about how, I'm not even sure if it's unintentionally surreal this game can get at times. But it's... If somebody who wished he was Salvador Dali made a game, it would probably come out something like this. As opposed to a game actually made by Salvador Dali, which would be far, far more incomprehensible. And far, far cooler for it. Goddamn fleas. Really should have gotten used to using Hornets by now, but I never really did. kind of useful for when you don't actually have very many limbs left. It's almost like they've got faces on those little pop-up things as well. Which is, okay, interesting in the sense that I have no bloody idea why on earth somebody would, you know, do that. But I have no idea why anyone would want to do half of these things. Yeah, this is where I've finally realised that not actually keeping all the limbs has come back to bite me in the ass. See, I told you it looks like a face. Having been bitten on the ass, I now have to backtrack to the beginning of the level to pick up the stuff I should have stayed, you know, kept with me the entire time. Which is actually one of the reasons this level takes longer than normal. And it's not the shortest of levels regardless, but if you're smart enough to realise that you're going to need all your limbs intact, it's actually one of the more straightforward ones. Not a huge amount of backtracking and other problematic little time wasters. So yeah, it's what you don't remember can and will bite you on the arse in this game. Should be thankful that backtracking is all I've bloody well got to do. And thank God for sloppy hit detection on the coat hangers. Actually, in general, this game's got kind of sloppy hit detection. Works out in your favour more often than not, which is why most people don't complain about it. Well, most people that actually remember this game, which I'm convinced equates to roughly, well, I'd say about the equivalent of half the population of Tuvalu remembers this game. Which, don't get me wrong, is still a good, you know, 50, 60 people. So, yeah. Really not a whole lot to go on about when you're just backtracking over the same area again and again. The first time, maybe. The second time, nothing really to talk about. By the time you've gone to the end, you've gone back to the beginning, now you're back at the ending area again. There really isn't a whole lot you can talk about. Aside from, yes, the little power-ups, always good fun. There's actually 2 of them, but you don't really need the second one. Yeah, you stand on the angry faces and it extends the platforms for you. Which I think I could probably extend into some sort of allegory about class warfare, but I don't think that's really appropriate. Says the guy who just spent 2 videos rabbiting on about how this is all Nazi propaganda. Just shows you where my loyalties lie in this matter, and it's not with the Nazis. Yes, I've had a disturbing amount of people, not for that incident, call me out for being supposedly of National Socialist allegiance, which is pretty goddamn stupid, but most people are that. Stupid is as stupid sees, and I guess if you're a complete idiot, you would in fact associate me with the Nazis. Which, now that I've said that, just sounds so completely defensive, it's bullshit. But, people believe what people believe. And yeah, again, there's one area where you do want the Hornets if you can actually get them to hit anything. Because obviously with the gaps in the platforms with the razors on them, the Flea's cannon will decide to stay there for quite a bit of time. So you're reaching them with the fist attack's not always an option. So yeah, while of situationally limited use, they're quite good to have around. I'm not sure whether that's supposed to be his pain face or his orgasm face. Either way, it's not something you really want to be standing on someone over. And there goes, I think, the longest combined video I've done for this thus far. It's almost at the 10-minute mark. And Plok is still really obsessed with those flags. Maybe it's the flagpoles, I don't know. Now he's ranting on, like, monologuing like a supervillain. Next time, people.